Hello and welcome to Lord of the Board. My name is Sam Smith, and today we are going to be covering Claudia and Soren in Dragon Prince Battlecharged. Now, this is one of the many combinations that you can use within this game. But one of the reasons why I like this combination so much is that both characters just help each other so much in many ways. And today we're going to be going over what these two characters do, what their stats are like, what their special abilities are, and then I'm going to be giving you some tips and strategies as well as some combo strings in order to find out exactly how to play these two characters. Now, before we really dive in, I just want to thank today's sponsor, and that is going to be Brotherwise Games, the creators of Dragon Prince Battlecharged. Definitely check the link below to see their website and all of the other games that they have to offer. Now with that, let's go ahead and dive right into the guide. Now let's start by taking a look at Claudia. She is a dark magic prodigy, meaning that she uses dark magic spells. She's got 3 movement speed, she's got 3 range, 1 damage basic attack, and her special ability is once per turn on your turn, you may discard 1 card to charge 1 energy. Now she starts the game off with 5 health and also starts off with 2 energy. And then we've got Soren the Crown Guard. He is definitely a more slow moving character with a small 2 move. His basic attack is 1 range but hits for 2 damage, and his ability is that whenever Soren or an adjacent ally is targeted with an attack, charge 1. Now Soren starts with the biggest health pool of 7 health and starts with 2 energy. Now the first tip actually branches right off from Soren's ability. Having that adjacency bonus to gain energy is actually something that you're going to be wanting to do as these characters a lot. Stay together. Both of these characters have cards that are only useful when they're adjacent to one another. Cards like Protect, which is a Soren React card that says choose an adjacent ally, they gain +1 shield against 1 attack. Or cards like Shadow Shield. This costs 1 energy. This is a Claudia specific react, and it says Claudia or an adjacent ally gains 1 shield against 1 attack. And lastly, Form Up, the technique card even, that is Soren specific, says that if Soren has an adjacent ally, Soren's next attack this turn has +1 boost. Or if Soren does not have an adjacent ally, move 1 ally adjacent to Soren. You'll see all these ways to play cards as long as you're sticking together. So stay together. Now, in addition to Claudia's ability being able to discard a card, you don't always have to do that to buff some of your other cards that get a buff based on discarding a card during your turn. You have a couple of cards that can discard a card, and these can be very good to combo into those cards that get a buff off of discarding cards. How many times can I say discard cards in a row? One of the things that I really like to do as Claudia, since she's so technique heavy, is actually use cards like Arcane Research, Sacrifice, or Transfer Vitality. These 3 cards allow you to discard a card during your turn, and because of that, that can actually buff the 2 cards Collect and Smoky Seekers. Collect says to draw a card, or if you have already discarded a card this turn, draw 2 cards, which is super powerful. As well as Smoky Seekers, which says choose an enemy to lose 1 energy. If you have already discarded a card this turn, then choose a second enemy to lose 1 energy. Now, buffing these doesn't always have to come from Claudia's ability. Utilizing those other 3 cards can be really important during your gameplay as her. Now with this combination, sprints are going to be very important because Soren is so slow and because you're wanting to stick together. This bunch is not fast and can be very slow moving most of the time. For this reason, I would be very careful before using a sprint card on just one of your characters. Waiting until you have at least 2 sprint cards, that way you're able to keep them both together and also still get them both a little bit farther, whether to attack your opponent or to run right away. Now there is a total of 13 technique cards in your deck. That takes up a really large chunk. They got a lot of technique cards. So be looking for technique cards that are not going to be very useful for you at the moment, and use those as the cards to discard for Claudia's ability or for your other discarding card effects. Now the nice thing about this is that since Claudia has that ability and a lot of cards require that you discard a card, you can actually cycle through your deck really quickly as long as you're discarding a little bit heavily at the end of your turn as well. And because of this, you can use really powerful effects multiple times and get to those really good cards a couple times within your game. So one of the more important things to learn in this is what you can let go of, and really that's just going to depend on the time of the match and also what you have in your hand. But like I said, if it's not immediately useful, sometimes you can really let go of that card, especially if it's a technique where you just have so many of them already. Whoa, okay, so change of outfit, and no real reason except for the fact that we are now going to be switching the topic up. We're now going to be talking about the combos that Soren and Claudia have. So we're going to start off by talking about the combo string that is Soren specific. Then I'm going to go through Claudia's combo string. Lastly, I'm going to do a combo string that you can actually use with both of the characters. So let's start with Soren. He's got a pretty easy one to pull off, and it starts with playing the duel card. Now, you are going to love this duel card. It is a technique that is Soren specific, and it says target an enemy on Soren's next turn. His attacks against them have +1 boost and +1 damage. So this is going to be something that you're going to play at the beginning of the turn and kind of set your mark, find your target of who you're going to attack. Then you can play Leap. Now this is a 1 energy cost move card. It says that you can move 4, and then this hero's next attack this turn has +1 boost. Then lastly, you can spend 3 energy to do a Spinning Strike. This is an attack card that deals 3 damage, has 1 range, and it says that on hit, Soren may move 1, then make an extra basic attack, which is just super rad. This is a ton of damage, and the nice thing about it is that you can pretty much almost guarantee that you're going to get a hit because you've got the duel and the leap. That's going to give you 2 boosts for Spinning Strike and add a damage to it. So this is a really great combo for Soren, and with all of these combo strings you can break them apart and just take any segments and just use those to shorten them, like I've said. Now we're going to look at the combo string that I've got for Claudia. Now this one starts off with Arcane Research. It says to charge 1, you may discard a card. If you do, give Claudia's next attack this turn 1 boost, so definitely discard a card. Then you're going to play the 1 energy cost Seek Energy card. This is a technique. It says to give Claudia's next attack this turn 1 boost or 2 range. You're definitely going to want to give it that boost. And then the next one is the 3 energy cost Leaping Flame card. Now this is an attack card. This has 3 range and 2 damage. It says target up to 2 enemies. If they are adjacent to each other, this has +1 boost. So if you have successfully gotten both of the enemies by each other, you have a 3 boost to attack, pretty much guaranteed to get in. This could be a great way to just take down both of your opponents simultaneously and then have kind of Soren come in, make some attacks. Maybe he does his combo string. You've got so many really powerful things that you can do with this combination. So now that we've talked about both Soren and Claudia's individual combo strings, I wanted to give you one that combines both of their cards to use kind of to make some teamwork happen, do a lot of damage, and set yourself up to win. Now this combination is crazy, it's long, but it is absolutely fun, and a lot of these elements you can kind of mix and use them in order to pull off some really cool things. So we're going to start off with Soren's side. Now Soren's whole goal within this combination is to essentially look for an opportunity that your opponents are within 2 spaces of each other, because you're going to try to get them adjacent to each other with a powerful kick. So what you're going to do first is you're going to play the duel card. Then you're going to go ahead and leap into battle. You've now got 2 boosts saved up. Then you're going to spend 2 energy and play the kick card. This is an attack where you can move the target 2 spaces on hit. So you attack one of them, you move them 2 spaces and put that opponent adjacent to your other opponent. Now they are adjacent to each other, and then Claudia kicks in. Now, as long as Claudia has at least 2 energy, you can pull off her part of this awesome combo, which you'll do Arcane Research, then you'll play Seek Enemy, then you'll go ahead and play Corruption. This is going to bring you up to 5 energy, but it is going to deal 2 damage to yourself. You'll draw a card, and then you play Nightfire Orb because you'll be at 5 energy at that point. Super, super crazy, out of nowhere, powerful attack, and both of your opponents are adjacent to each other because you kicked them adjacent with Soren. Nightfire Orb is awesome. This is the 5 energy most powerful attack card that Claudia has, and one of the most powerful attack cards in the game, period. This is a 4 range, 4 attack that has 1 boost, but it will also have 2 other boosts with Seek Enemy and Arcane Research, and it says hit every enemy and ally adjacent to the target takes 3 damage as well. So this is such a crazy powerful combo that you can use, and any segment can be taken apart and used, and I really hope that this just inspires you to think of all of these crazy ways to really work together to deal a lot of damage and really just make your opponents scared to even come close to you as a combination. Now, I really hope that this Soren and Claudia guide helped you. I really hope that you guys can learn a lot from this, and if this did help you, please leave a comment below and like the video. I would really appreciate it. But hey, that is it for Soren and Claudia. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go ahead and drop the beat.